And we wrap it up today from the Japandi home in New Smyrna Beach, checking in on the open house we had for the Parade of Homes just yesterday. Chad Newberry joins me, Newberry Homes. Chad, how did it go, buddy? It was awesome.
It was amazing. The turnout was amazing, and yeah, we had a lot of our vendors come out, and they actually set up booths. So like Aquascapes was there, and I think they sold a few pools. So it was great. It was a great experience.
Most importantly, your homeowners here at the Japandi home must be so happy with you. What are they saying? What's their feedback?
They love it. Love how everything came together, and they can't wait to move in. So it'll be a couple of weeks, but yeah, they're excited to move in.
I have a lot of people who own land, and they're really debating right now whether they want to build a custom home or if they want to go buy something and maybe rehab it a little bit. You get that same question. What do you say to someone when they say, I think I want to build a custom home?
Yeah, I think it's a great experience. It requires some patience, especially if you want to do a design build, because it really is a collaborative process and it takes time. But you really put your signature on it, and you're not fighting against a pre-existing building. So you know, your imagination takes hold and can create whatever you want to.
Yeah, and I love the idea of a custom home because it's just what it says. You can customize the home for the needs of you and your family. But then again, I'm busy. I don't necessarily have time to decide every little single detail. How do you help me through those decisions?
Yeah, we're very collaborative throughout the whole process. So we actually will sit down with you and understand your design and what you're aspiring to. We'll take a stab at the design, we'll get your feedback, and then even during construction, because a lot of our clients actually don't live in Florida, or this is like their second home. So they kind of just fly back and forth, but we'll pre-design the house. We take the client shopping with a representative, it's very collaborative, and we try to take a lot of the heavy lifting off of from the client during that process.
So when you finally get the CO and you see the family move in, how do you feel, and more importantly, how do they feel?
Sometimes I think at first they're a little frustrated just because of the time it takes some time. But I think at the end of the day, most of our clients actually really appreciate, and they understand it's such a huge process. They're actually really thankful, and a lot of our clients are actually repeat clients. So I think that speaks volumes.
At Newberry Homes and Development Group, we have you on the show because of trust, because I've seen, I own a law firm, and I have so many people who come to me because they want to sue the roofing company who disappeared or sue this guy or that guy. Trust is so important when it comes to construction. How have you instilled so much trust in this community?
Yeah, I think it's, the construction process is a human process. So things don't always go as planned, and, errors happen. But I think we try to get at the forefront of it, and we really try to problem solve it. And, if it's going to create a challenge that we're very honest with the client, and we're very transparent with it, but we also don't leave them hanging. We will figure it out. We will solve the problem, but I think there's just a level of transparency that really goes a long way with our clients.
I'm sitting at home right now. I've been thinking about building a home from scratch, a custom home. But taking that next step has been difficult. But I want to reach out to someone like you who I can talk to about it. How does that initial call work? How does that initial process work?
Really, I see where they're at in their research process. If they're at the initial phase of it, I try to give them as much information as possible, because sometimes it can be very daunting. But when people have committed, they're like, no, all right, I've already done my research. I already own the land. I already have an idea of what I want to build. That's when I say, come into our office, sit down with us, show us all your inspirational images. Let's start putting this down on paper, and let's start figuring out budgets. And so we kind of start there. But there is a lot of research that needs to be done on the forefront before you get to that phase. So that's kind of where I usually start with a client.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about building a home, I would call Newberry Homes right away. Chad would be happy to talk through it with you. And let's see if it makes sense for you, right? It's no real commitment. You're happy to talk to people and see if it works for them. Keep up the great work, buddy.
Sounds good.
And you can have your own Japandi. You can call it the Justiny House if you want. Maybe that'll be the next one, the Justiny House. Although Michaela will probably want to call it the Michaela House or something like that. You know how she is. Excellent show. Hey, thank you to our amazing crew here from WKMG. You guys crushed it as always. Thanks for coming out. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more You Have Real Estate.